Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Hope you're all doing really well. We're back on Calmsden for another episode of a Let's Play series. I've got a few updates. You can probably see it in the distance over there. And that kind of brings me on to my next point really well. So before we get into the actual farming side of this episode, first section is just going to be about Nathan6930, or as he's known on Facebook as Nathan Photography. And he's the modder that made the sheds that I've used on this new build on Calmsden that I'm playing with. And I wanted to give a bit of an update and also showcase some of his work that he's doing, because I know people are excited to get like British sheds and equipment, and I asked Nathan if I can showcase some of the stuff he's been sharing, and he happily allowed me to do that, but also sent over the new shed, and I've got that placed down. So we're going to go and have a look at that in a second, and then we'll get into the farm. We've got some mowing to do and so on. So first off, what I want to talk about is a new map. Now this is really early work in progress, not too many pictures to showcase. A couple of GE pictures that I'm going to pop up right now. You can see that this is going to be like the map boundary. He's using a real life GPS picture. And if you played on Farming Simulator 19, he did a map called Meadow Grove, a really good map. In fact, it was one of my all-time favourite maps. And yeah, he's making a new map basically. So this is some of the pictures that I'm going to showcase now. So this one is, again, really early work in progress on this map. I've got the name and everything and the location. I'll share that in a second. But keep an eye out for updates on his Facebook page. I'll put a link in the video description so you can follow along on the work he's going through. Really nice to see that we've got a UK modder back on the scene and making, and it seems like he's got a real drive for it and enjoying FS25. It's only going to be a good thing for us players. And yeah, it's important to showcase this kind of work, keep that motivation going. And yeah, hopefully, you know, we'll get a map at the end of it, which is really exciting to think about. But yeah, we've got another picture here. Again, real life GPS going to be on the ground. The field locations and everything's obviously going to be set by that, and roads and stuff. But yeah, dead excited. Early days though, you can't really tell too much from this picture, but I'm just showing you what he's shared so far in my Discord server as well. So if you want to follow along, there's a channel on my Discord server called Modders News. Get a couple of modders posting in there regularly, so yeah, worth maybe checking out if you want to keep on top of stuff and just see progress. And yeah, I enjoy looking at the progress that modders work on. So the map's going to be called Waterloo Farm, and it's based in Canyon Pion, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Hereford. So Hereford's the location, and the map's going to be called Waterloo Farm. So really excited to see the progress of that, but also, you know, we've got a map coming out, hopefully, in the future. Maybe, I don't even know, I was going to guess, you know, probably like it's going to take at least a year to make, because maps take a very long time, but we'll see how fast Nathan works. From experience, Nathan is flying through some of the stuff he's working on right now. But he's not only just working on a map, he's also working on a few equipment things, placeables, sheds, things like that. So I'm going to go through these, because some of this stuff is pretty cool. So first off, we've got some AW trailers. Now, we had these in 22 from another modder, a brilliant modder, IJ Creative Modding, did some AW trailers, but also, yeah, Nathan's going to try his hand on these, and you can see that he's already designed these. It looks like it's in Blender or something along them lines, and you've got that UK, I love the fact you've got the UK badge on it and different kind of configurations there, and they look brilliant, don't they? So, you know, keep an eye out for this kind of stuff coming, hopefully to mod up at some point. Looks like it's getting there, you know. Obviously the GE work after that is a little bit, you know, it's going to take time and stuff, but from what I can see in that picture, definitely impressed so far, and you can't go wrong with an AW trailer as well. So now we've got a Bailey trailer, and in the background over there I can actually see what looks like an animal trailer, but I've got no pictures of that, so I'm not sure about that one as of yet. But you know, it says that it's not just going to be the AWs and this Bailey trailer as well, but the Bailey trailer looks really good. And yeah, I'm just excited. We're going to get some kind of UK, British and Irish kind of style mods that are going to be dropping soon from Nathan, and you can see that he's doing excellent work. But yeah, I'm interested to see what that animal, it looks like an animal trailer, what that's going to be. So now we've got like a low loading trailer where we can obviously drive up on it as well, that he's working on. Not branded yet, so I don't know what brand this is going to be. It could just be like a basic Lizard one, so it can go on console as well. I mean, I imagine it's, you know, you can put all these trailers that we've seen so far on console, you just have to brand it Lizard and make two versions, which is probably what he might do. I don't know, I don't want to speak for him there, but yeah, I'm not sure about the branding, but it looks really good. And it's nice to have this kind of, what we've got a bale trailer, but they're AW, and now we've got this kind of low loading trailer we can also use to put bales on as well. So he's working on a lot of stuff right now. Now I thought this was really cool, because if you're doing a small farm and you got small equipment. This Fleming looks like it would be a cultivator in game, with the kind of weight on the top from the barrels. I love that kind of style. So looking forward to seeing that come. This Fleming, I'm just going to call it an in-game cultivator, you know, because it technically is going to be like a cultivator in game. And then you've got, like I said, the weight on the top with the barrels. I just love that. I really think it's quite authentic. And yeah, Fleming's obviously a decent make and brand that we should see more of really in the game. So I'm going to move on now to the sheds that he's working on, some of the pictures that he's shown. Now, these are the sheds that I'm using currently, but I used them in G, so they weren't placeables as a mod that you can actually use them and place down in game. But this is what he's working on to make and convert them into placeables and obviously bring them up to like the FS25 standard and scratch. And from experience, from what I've seen in a second, you'll also see, the cow shed, it's going to be insane. These sheds are brilliant. These really are. You got the bale shed, and they're coming in two kind of configurations. You've got that tin green colour, and you've also got the wood panel option. So expect to see these soon. I know he's getting close with these. He sent me the cow shed. I only noticed one thing, and it's dead easy. It's just a missing collision. So nothing too bad. All the triggers work and everything. The only thing that's not working, which is not down to him, is the manure. Again, giant issue. Same's happening on Calmsden on the map, so hopefully that gets fixed soon, because at the moment pretty much you can't even do anything with straw or manure. It's a bit of a strange one that needs sorting out. So that's the back side now of that same shed, where you can see the wash bay as I've been using it. I think it is technically a chemical store or a wash bay, but I think you're not going to use it as that in game realistically, so it's going to be a wash bay. And then at the back side, where you'd put like the Yarra silo tanks for storing herbicide or fertilizer, and we'll see some Yarra tanks in a second that he's working on. So really quick, just showing you the wood configuration there. The wood panels looks really good. You know, any sheds like this that come to the game, it means you can customize it on any map. That's the beauty of it. If you don't want to do it on Calmsden, you want to build your own, like start from scratch in the middle of nowhere, like a no man's land kind of map or a frontier map. Nice to have the option of putting these British style sheds down. So yeah, man, I'm proper excited for all this stuff that he's shown me, and it seems like it's a treat every time I see a post in my Discord from him, because yeah, he's obviously working on a lot of stuff, and all of it looks pretty cool. It's just great to see more British mods come into the game. I feel like in 22 we missed out in comparison to 19 and 17. I feel like it was less, and that it was for obvious good reasons. One, they take longer. It's a lot more harder work now for modders to make it. As the game improves visually and all that stuff, it means that it takes a lot longer and the standard goes up. So you can't expect as much anyway. But also, with the problems with modding and the community as a whole, unfortunately, a lot of modders have become demoralised basically and lost interest, and I think what's the point in putting so much hard work in? And it's a shame. So honestly, it makes me dead happy to know that Nathan's really encouraged right now and doing such excellent work. And I know a lot of people watching this video are going to be the exact same as me, which is super excited to see this stuff come to the game. And yeah, can't wait to try it out in game. So the next one then is, you can see them 3 Yarra tanks looking really good. That's obviously going to be a placeable at some point, hopefully, fingers crossed, if it comes to the game. And then we've also got this, which is titled the spray shed. So I imagine it's for a sprayer next to the Yarra tanks and stuff like that. But again, looks really good. So you can see the Yarra tanks. You got like the triple silo option, and then it looks like a double as well, maybe a single next to it. So we should have some customization there with how many you want to place down. Obviously, all varying in capacity, I imagine. Now this one's super cool. This is a chicken shed. So yeah, this is going to be an animal shed you can place down for chickens. I love them Calmsden bins as well. They look superb. So it's going to be nice to have these Calmsden bins attached to this shed as well. And it makes me think, I wonder if we'll get some of these Calmsden bins in the future, just singular to place down as well. But they look superb. They're on point. So there we go. That's pretty much all the pictures I've got to show off right now. So let's go and have a quick look at the finished farm. Now this is done for me. I'm not going to do any more stuff. Oh, I'm in hellfire. That was close. The one car on Calmsden, and I nearly drove into it. I should do. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to do any more work to this now. This is finished for me. I'm very happy with this farm. It looks close enough to the real new build at Calmsden, and I'm yeah, really happy with it. So let's have a quick walk around and have a look at the shed. I mean, what I really like about this, it comes in two options. You can have this runoff section at the front, which has just got loads of gates and they all open and close. Or you can have it where it's, this section here is kind of like not there and you just feed. But I liked the runoff section, which we can, you know, open up, and if we just open the gate up, there we go. So you can drive all the way through it, and all these gates open as well. So if you just want to, you know, come through here, and this is what I was on about missing collision. Just the gates didn't have a collision on, but I've told Nathan, and he'll fix that up really quick. But yeah, superb. I mean, I've put 20 beef stock in, so they're happy. You can see this is what the straw looks like down, even though I can't do anything with it, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the size. A decent size as well. And then at the front is where you're feeding as well. So that's the trigger for feed. And it takes bales as well, which is really nifty. So I bought some TMR bales, and I also bought some straw bales. And I didn't need to use a blower or a feed mixer. I can just place the bale down. So super cool. Now we can hold 50 cows in this. That's the capacity. And you've got a slurry point just there. And then the back wall of the shed is not accessible. You can't go into it anywhere there, which is perfectly fine. But I went with the wood look. Now, could go with the tin one. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you. Look at that, though. I'm very happy with how that's turned out. I mean, it looks a lot like the picture I showed earlier on. But let's go to the cow shed. Go down to... There we go. So this one here. So it's 40,000 to place down, holds 50 cows. And if we customize it and put it into tin, you can now see that that's what it looks like with the tin. So you've got two options. You've got the tin option with the green paint, or just the wood panels. So yeah. Hopefully this will be coming soon to Mod Hub. And big shout out to Nathan. He's done such a good job on this. And it fits Calmsden perfectly. It really does. So yeah, we're set now. We've got everything in place. We can have some beef stock. We can rear them up. And we've got a dairy farm down that way that we need to obviously start working on. But we're going to focus now on getting some silage made. And I'm going to sell it all. And I know that's crazy because I've got cows that I need to feed. But I'm going to sell it all because I'm going to buy in TMR bales. And I think that's probably the best solution. We'll get it sold because I want to buy a harvester. So let's go and head down to the store. I want to get another mower set up. This one's going to be for me, and I'm going to use the little Massey 5S, which I've actually been cleaning off because it's in the wash bay right now. So let's head down to the store. We're going to pick up another mower because I want to get a worker going at the same time. I'll set the worker going in the bigger field, and we'll get like a bigger setup on that. Whereas I'll use the 5S probably, and yeah, use the smaller one. I might even go into the little pasture, grass pasture next to where the dairy cows are, and try and mow a third one because it's a lot of mowing to do. But you know, we made good money last time. We made about 93,000 or something like that, I think, if I remember. So you know, that's going to help us out quite a bit. You can see my money's jumped down as well. I was like 220 in the last episode. That's because I bought 20 cows, also placed down the shed, which was about 40,000. So it has taken quite a bit of money to do that. So we need to try and bring our cash back up. I mean, we'll look at the value of the harvester as well, and we'll be able to figure out what we can buy. Because I don't think we're going to make much money until we need to buy the actual harvester for getting the harvest done. So yeah, let's try and figure this out. We'll keep leasing stuff. I don't want to spend too much money now. We've got to try and be really frugal in our purchases going forward. But I had to place that shed down. I had to buy the cows in. And hopefully we can generate a bit of cash from it. It might have been a good idea to do milk, to be honest, because, yeah, it's it's needed, really. We need the cash and liquid gold and all that. Would help if I go to the right trigger. As you know, that's normally a good start. Right, so let's get ourselves a mower. Don't need something too crazy. Where are we? There we are. I mean, this mod's come out on Mod Hub recently. These, and they are perfect for a small farm. I love that. I do like them. I've got this one currently, I mean, I could get the front one and make a life easier and put that onto... Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a front one. There we go. So that can go with this. And that makes it... Well, it makes it 210 horsepower requirement now. And then, do we go with like a big setup? We'd need a front one, wouldn't we? Tricky. We've got the John Deere setup, which we could put on the John Deere. And we've got this, but that's... You know what, I could go with this one. And just put this on to the case. And maybe even the front side to it as well. And then have both setups running kind of like dual mowers. But the problem with that is I've got to come back down again now to pick it up. But, oh well. Let's get the case sorted out first, and we can get that going into the big field. And then we can use... We'll have to use the John Deere, thinking about it. We're going to be lacking horsepower. We'll have to miss out on using the 5S. Getting the John Deere. And... Oh, no. And yeah, we'll get... And yeah, we can do the 2 fields with that setup, and then this one can do the larger field. There we go. Happy days. Right, I'll head down, get this going with Courseplay, and I'll go and pick up the John Deere. We really do need to try and get the ball rolling on this. 3 fields to mow. It's going to take a bit of time. Right, so I'm in the John Deere. It needs a bit of a clean, but we're gonna just leave it be for now. We will clean it after, though. Definitely before the next episode, everything's going to be freshly clean. The funny thing is, I cleaned off the 5S, but I didn't clean off anything else because I used the 5S to spread solid fert to get the grass fields fully fertilised, ready for this episode. And yeah, these definitely need a clean. They've been busy working through. You can see that the maintenance on it's getting below 50% as well. So at some point, that's going to be a bill that we need to tackle. But right now, we're not focusing on that. Let's try and make a bit of money from silage. It is needed. I have been thinking as well, like, when giants do fix the manure, I'm probably just going to scoop out. What I would have liked to have done is, if the shed, like, spawned manure into the kind of area where the straw is, so the bedding area, I would have liked to have manually mucked out and then kind of just put it into a heap myself, instead of placing down... Yeah, instead of placing down an actual kind of like storage point for manure or a bunker where it just automatically spawns in. I do like being hands-on with that more than kind of like the newer method where it just spawns in automatically. I did like FS19 for that because it felt like you were more interactive with the animals than what we are now. So yeah, I will try and do that. That's going to be my aim at some point, to have that kind of set up for manure. Also thinking about a bunker. I know we've got the silage bunker this side of the farm, and you know, it's good to have one here because when we do start looking after our milkers, you know, it's going to be really handy to have a silage bunker really close to them, because we can do the silage in that way and feed the cows. But I think we need one up there, don't we, as well? So we're going to have to try and find a spot probably to put that in. In fact, what I should have done then is mowed up here. I wanted to do the small field. So let's go and start off on this one. I mean, we're lucky right now. We're actually using a really good mower setup on this John Deere, and it is November as well, so this grass is going to look really dry. It's almost like it looks like like we're in Tenerife. We've had a lot of sun. This one thing, even though, like, you look at this grass texture, it looks superb. It's Oxy's, obviously, grass texture, but it is kind of brown. Now, my problem is, you guys playing it right now from model won't be seeing what I see as bad, because Oxy actually changed it and sorted it out. But I made a custom edit to a version he sent me when we'd finished testing to get sent to Giants, basically. And then he made the changes after. So I need to try and adapt that into my current one, my current edited version of Calmsden, so I can also see that. So I'm gonna try and sort that out for the next episode, so we don't always see this drier look. He was right, Oxy was, that it did need changing a bit. So I'm glad he did that, but I haven't actually seen it yet. So you guys will know if you're into the autumn, like, what does it actually look like? Are we still seeing this kind of dry grass texture, or is it now more green and just a little bit? Because I think he said he's adjusted it so it's still green, but it's a slightly, slightly more yellowy and brown and stuff than what we get now. I mean, this just reminds me when I go to Tenerife on holiday and you have a look around, everything looks like it's about to set on fire. I mean, we don't want that in the Cotswolds, do we? But anyway, let's crack on. Let's get on a montage. This one won't take long at all. AI workers on there flying about. We will try and do a bit of rowing as well. Don't know if we'll get to the baling, but if we can just focus on the mowing, we'll definitely get all 3 fields mowed, and I will try and do some rowing, even if it's just in the small field, just to give myself a bit of a head start. Because in the next episode, I kind of want to do a bit of a jump cut. I don't want to, spend time just baling and rowing up. I'd rather jump cut into the spring months and start working out the fertiliser with a sprayer as well. Because I do want to tackle some tram lines, so I'm looking forward to trying that out.
Hope to make it through the night. Before this night is over, I will guide you home. All this time you thought we'd never pay the price. In the game of love, you have to roll the dice. My heart got 7 years to life. 7 years to life. I've been told that time will heal all our wounds and our sorrows too. No more clouds, no more rain. I need sun to ease my pain. Before this night is over, I will guide you home. All this time you thought we'd never pay the price. In the game of love, you have to roll the dice. My heart got 7 years to life. 7 years to life. All this time you thought we'd never pay the price. In the game of love, you have to roll the dice. My heart got 7 years to life. I got 7 years to life.
Right, that's the mowing done on my side. Now, I did think about helping out and finishing off that, but there's not that much left, really. I thought I could use the time better by at least rowing up this field. And I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to do the baling in between this episode and the next one. And yeah, we can go and sell them and do a bit of a jump cut through. Because there's not much going on, that's the problem. I've got to obviously feed the cows now and look after them, but there's not much else going on because of the fact Our arable work is pretty much set. We need to plant in spring to do the sugar beets or the potatoes, which is going to be fun. It always is. And then we also need to do the fertilising and then move on to a harvest. And I'm really looking forward to getting into the harvest because it's a big barley harvest, a bit of a task. Yeah, I'm excited to get into doing some harvesting. I started off, and when I was testing, I did the big field 5 over there. Is the canola that everyone starts off with, but I feel like yeah, moving over to that big barley harvest is going to be a challenge. And at some point, I probably should move out the hedge in between them 2 fields and just plough it in as one large field, and then we could even move the one to the right and buy that up. But they cost a lot, so we're nowhere near affording that 3rd field. But we can always combine the other 2, and then eventually maybe set that as a goal to combine into that 3rd one at some point. Because can you imagine then if we do like a wheat field or an oat field or even another, you know, oil seed, and it's gonna be massive, isn't it? OSR. Can you imagine 3 fields of OSR? We'll be bringing in some good money at that point. I know I've planted in this grass again to try and get GPS to work in there, but yeah, it's a weird one because that one there's been planted in. This one hasn't, but the grass texture that Oxy has is so much better, and it is like the kind of meadow grass, if anything, you know, the wilder grass. So when you start planting in grass, you lose that Oxy grass texture, like that one is over there. Now I don't know what it's going to look like when it's fully grown. I'm hoping it kind of like turns into the Oxy texture. Should probably wait to see, really, but no, we've chopped it. There might be a bit that he's missed, and if there is, what I'll do is I'll keep that bit just to check if it is. Because you know, I don't mind it whilst it's growing, but yeah, it definitely looks better when it's the Oxy grass texture. I mean, the second one is awful. Like, not this one, you could say, so that this freshly cut. The next growth stage after this is it's just terrible. It really is. Like, Giants need to do something about it because it's hard to even look at, in my opinion. It's just so patchy and just a strange texture they went for there. But yeah, it is what it is. And I said that from day one. I remember saying that on Riverbend, like, don't mind this one especially. Like, I really like this texture. I think it looks nice and full and there's no patches. But then all of a sudden to go to like really patchy from that is just a little bit strange from when it looks this full before it. And after that, it's not too bad. I mean, the grass texture is cutting now. It's not amazing, but it's not horrendous. And then the final one is not bad at all. Like, I don't mind that. But that first one, I don't know what that's about. It's definitely not right, though. I don't know if it's just like limitations and they have to, you know, think about like the performance of consoles or PC or anything for that matter. Maybe it's something to do with that. But it definitely can be improved on. We'll probably see stuff like that coming into maps, like there'll be custom to maps, you know, growth stages and the way it looks and stuff on grass and crops. I mean, Bullet Bill did some amazing crop textures for 22 on his Itcho page, and they were like some of the best texture I've ever seen. It'd be really nice to get them back at some point. But to be honest, Giants have improved on the crop textures. They look more full. You know, that double-sided rendering they kept going on about when they were promoting the game has made a difference. So yeah, the crop textures aren't bad. It's not like I've seen one and gone, oh my god, that's you know, terrible. But then when you compare it to like, you know, Bullet Bill's textures for crops, and then you compare it to like Oxy's grass textures in 22, or even if you compare it to like Benji's maize texture. Like, you know, you compare the actual 25 maize texture to Benji's. You know, Benji's was incredible and definitely better than the maize texture we get now. But I think it is because they have to tailor to console as well. So, you know, Benji's textures are obviously a lot more demanded in that sense. So I think it's probably something to do with that. So I'm hoping Benji and Bullet Bill can bring them back for us players because, you know, I really appreciated them and they definitely made a visual difference. But anyway, that's that done. That's that field rode up again. Hoping the next patch, which, by the way, if you've not heard, Giants have made a post about the next patch is very close and it's coming soon. Don't know what's going to be fixed in it, but it is coming soon. And they did actually say, like, they've heard you. they've heard us basically as a community, and so I'm hopeful with that comment itself in the update about this upcoming patch that, you know, they've obviously heard the issues with hopefully manure and dynamic pastures and this flickering that we get on rows now on grass, and it's basically straw rows, grass rows, hay rows, anything like that that's been placed on the ground. It just looks terrible in the distance, and then when you get to it, it kind of just pops in. It's a really strange one, but that's got to get sorted surely, because grasswork's a massive part of the game. But yeah, I'm hopeful Giants will fix it. They will. They'll get it sorted. But yeah, let's have a quick look at this text. See what I mean about how patchy it is? And then you look at it cut. Like, there's no gaps like that ever. You know, you don't see any gaps at all when it's cut like that. Then all of a sudden you go to this and there's just, you know, probably like 40% of it's gapped. So it's a strange one, real strange one. But, you know, if you look at it like that, it doesn't look bad at all, does it? It's just when you look down at it. And it's even worse on the stage before this. It's, honestly, oh, man, I would love to see a change to that. I really would. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all we can get through in this episode. I don't want it to go on forever. And, you know, it is a big task to get all these 3 fields rowed up and baled on top of doing the mowing. And I did want to show off Nathan's work. I know a lot of people will be interested to see that because, you know, it affects you as a player, and it's kind of like giving you the news on upcoming stuff to get excited about. So I think that was important to do at the start of the video. But I will make sure to get this rowed up, get it all baled and wrapped. So by the time the next episode drops, you'll see me working in this. You'll see the time advance from November probably into the next year, so we'll be in year 2 on the save game. And yeah, we can start focusing and planning out what we're going to do on the arable side, and yeah, in that field down at the bottom there, because I definitely don't want to do a root crop. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge to do that, and even though sometimes it's not fun to do, it's nice to change it up a bit, and we've got a big barley field, some grass work going on. I think we should do some root crops, and at some point I'll bring in some dairy cows because the milk they make is going to give us some really good money as well. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it every time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me because that really does help me out on YouTube. And also, if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.